Can y'all hear me now? There we go. What's up, y'all? How's everyone doing? Long time no see, YouTube. But we're back. We're going to be back here for good now. Let's get straight into it. We don't have that much time. Well, we got plenty of time. We just don't have that much going on. Overall markets. Overall markets 660 still. Still by all-time highs. Yeah. Um, that being said, some tricky trading right now, especially in the stock realm for small cap. Where's everyone joining me from this morning? All the indices about the same. Little small gap ups everywhere, it looks like, at the moment. Some small gap ups. We'll see. It's a Monday morning, okay? Got to let things shake. Got to let things shake at the moment, all right? Scan is barren. This is the worst my scan's looked in a minute, y'all. UK, what's up, baby? Canada, H-Town, Florida, Austin, Texas, what's up? Love my Canadians. Slovenia. A lot of Slovenian traders. It's wild. What's up, Ben Bud? Eggplantville? Sweet. It's my favorite place. North Carolina, Singapore. What's up, y'all? Germany, let's go. Panama City, Florida. What's up, y'all? Scan is slow as hell. Slowest it's probably looked for me in a year, but that's okay. All right, we'll get into some good lessons this week. Make sure you're here all week. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday. This morning, we're just doing a pre-market prep for you guys. Okay, but I am going to be live again this afternoon, right at the market close, and I have some special lessons for everybody. Does that sound good? Vanessa, what's up? Romania. So, scan slow. For those who have never had the chance to spend some time with me, very simple. I trade stocks. All right, mostly small cap. Trade some mid cap, big caps if need be. Okay. But my game for the last decade's been to find volatility, to find inefficiencies and exploit those inefficiencies. That's the whole point of day trading, right? The markets themselves pretty efficient, right? Pretty efficient. Big cap stocks, stuff like that. For the most part, there's quite a bit of efficiency there. What do I mean by that? I mean price goes pretty much where it's supposed to be pretty quickly. There are not moments in time. Well, there are moments in time. Don't get me wrong, but not as exploitably long, put it that way, as we get in small cap, mid cap, and the stock market, right? So for 10 years, that's what I've been doing. I've been finding the most volatile plays and then figuring out how to take part in them. The lessons that we're going to teach you guys this week, especially for those who are more beginners and those who have been maybe just struggling for years, to get this stuff is going to hopefully be life-changing. All right. So this week I'm going to be spending the next few days getting you guys some basic information that, again, will hopefully transform your trading forever, especially if you trade what I trade. You have to know what you're trading, how they move, what they do. and where to be next. That's the difficult part. You know, everyone trades the indices. Very easy. Wake up. What's SPY doing? Go do, you know, put your lines on the fucking chart and go trade SPY. Easy. Very difficult due to lack of edge, but very easy in that there are no instruments that you have to go find again. Every morning for me, it's okay. What tickers do we have? Are they in play? What's going on? Right? And I have to figure out what's going to hopefully move in the best fashion for me today. This morning, very slow, right? This scan's usually pretty full. We have no gappers over 100%. We have no gappers over 100%. This is a very big distinction for me, guys. It's the main distinction I use. It's the main number on gappers, on percent gain, that I use to decipher whether we have a market that has any momentum or not. And then, more importantly, what does that scan look like at the end of the day? Both of those things, okay? If we have 100% gappers, pre-market, good. We've got gappers, decent-sized gappers, enough volatility and range for me to take something, potentially. But if at the end of the day we get to the scan and they're not up 100%, then I know that we had probably faders that day, okay? So what I'm trying to do is get my finger on the pulse of the markets, right? What is working? What's not working? And to what degree? Now, if what's working is something that's in my wheelhouse, in my playbook, then great. We're going to have varying levels of conviction and scale. If it's not, maybe it's something I can learn, right? If no setups are in play, but there are stocks moving, then there's something I can learn. That's the way I've always approached it. Sorry, y'all. Except for my face, though. So, let's get into some tickers. We've got ENLV. Okay, we've got KTTA. Just a couple of tickers here. Just a couple of tickers. The watch list is out, you guys, this morning. If you go to the watch as well. For my pack people. Go. So our watch list for the morning. We kind of get into the overall market. Still got a bunch of stuff going on, obviously. ENLV this morning, they announced positive 6-month top line data with pain reduction. Also a concurrent $212 million private placement, so they're going to be diluting too. Okay. Let's just get into some of these top percent gainers quickly. What's up, Mike? How's it going, man? How's it going, champ? Here's your daily on ENLV. Sub 1. All right, so they're non-compliant, technically speaking. They're gapping up to the 150s right now. Again, you guys, the market this year has been wild hot. Last few months, though, much, much, much slower. Much slower. Okay? Monday mornings in particular, we only got 10 minutes till market open. Monday mornings in particular, throughout my career, it's one of my least traded days. Okay? When I sucked at trading, it was my most traded day. It was my most excited I'd be. The whole week was getting to the markets on Monday morning, and I could not wait to YOLO something. As I got much better, I realized, okay, Monday's actually a set the tone for the week kind of day in the markets. Generally speaking, unless I've got some sort of theme to go off of from last week. Yeah? I like to let things shake on Mondays. Okay, specifically 15, 20 minutes minimum. On a day like today, with a scan like we have right now, very, 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 very easy to sit on my hands. This is our top percent gainer. Where's my view app at? Sorry, computer's being kind of slow. Where's my view app at? Well. Okay. So here's our daily. Here's our daily. Again. Push not on a ton of volume. When I get to a daily chart, guys, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for levels on big volume, right? I'm looking for big gap downs. I'm looking for anything that's going to paint a picture for me. Anything that's going to paint a picture for me. Not a lot of volume, not a lot of volume. So there's nothing really concerning down here. There is a top in the twos. Okay, so if you look like 180 to 2, just historically over time, the last few years, it's really struggled with this area. So I'll keep that in mind if I'm trading it and I'm long and it starts to approach that area. Absolutely becomes price target. Okay, price target. And you can see when you get into the hourly chart, you can see it's already shied off decently from that area. So we're confirming for me low, high ones as resistance on this chart. Okay, I like to work back daily 30, 15, 5, 1 every time I go through a ticker. Find key levels. Okay, there's not much here. There's extension between 1 and 150. Right, just kind of going back in time. There's not much support and resistance. We've got the 180s. On the 5, we've got a little bit here in the mid-low ones in terms of that. This early part of the move rejected, 120 area. This might be an area I'd be watching for a potential dead cat bounce or something like that. Okay. So if I were to get a reversal, it would be something like this. And this is how I like to look at my trades. Preconceive how I would like it to look in terms of my RR, in terms of, oh, fuck yeah, Cristiano's bicycle is nasty. Nasty. But more importantly, the Gunners 4-1 against the Spurs. Okay. I'm going to see how this shakes. I'm going to see how ENLV shakes, but that's the idea for me. I'm going to find a good area where, hey, it should bounce. And then I get great RR from that area, right? Most people are watching this area on a ticker like this, and this is what everyone's fucking taught, and this is why everyone fails when it comes to trading stocks. There's your breakout level, right? Most people are waiting for this. I call you Billy. Okay? Trust me, I was there. That's the one that makes sense when you're new. Oh, the breakout breaks through highs. It's going to go to the moon. Once it goes through this level, it should rip. Right? It should rip. That was old me. No doubt. Problem is, if it's going to be choppy, if there are shares to dump, which you'll learn about that this week, there usually are. Okay. That's where you dump shares. That's where Billy gets trapped. What's your risk reward there? Someone answer me. Someone answer me. What's the RR here? It's not even a question I used to ask myself. Here's all you see. Look, no risk and just green for days. In my mind, when I used to trade this pattern, this is what it looked like. Yeah? Just fucking rip. Problem is, and the only way I look at it now is much different. This is how I actually see this entry, guys. Understood? Inverse RR. If you're this person doing this over and over again, you're Billy. I'm sorry. Does it work? Sometimes. Most of the time it doesn't. It is what it is. Okay. So, this, again, it was all I ever used to look for. Now, I make sure that I sell to this motherfucker. The old me, I sell to this person. What's up, J Trades? What's up, baby? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Seeing some familiar faces here I have not seen in a minute. It's good to see you. We are Cody. We are Cody. There should be some links. we actually got a new we've got a new community that my team's been working tirelessly to set up. It's freaking awesome. We have so many resources in there for you guys and so many good things. Okay, 5 minutes till market open. We've only looked at the one ticker. Don't really have plans for KTTA. Just popped on my scan. This was not on my watch list. Therapeutics announces cohort ongoing phase 1 advanced cancer patients with positive safety data. So biotech. News just popped a little bit ago. Same sort of thing. Bottom bouncer here, 30-cent stock. 12 million in volume. It's been liquidating. We've been seeing a lot of these charts the last few days, my friends. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days of liquidation off the 7s on this. On KTTA, they put out that PR and their dead cat bouncing off 30 cents. For a bottom bouncer that just put out a PR, I'd be watching for a potential reversal off the mid-30s, mid-high 30s. Okay. That would be the game for me, is to nail that, try to snuggle up next to risk pretty decently and look for something similar to this. What else? But let me do a little bit more. Let's see what KTTA's got going on before we just get all up in it like that. This is DT. This is dilution tracker. It's what I use to go through the fundamentals, paint a quick picture for me. KTTA. Their float. This is where I find float and everything else a little more accurately, I find. High risk across the board. Okay. Here's their shares outstanding. 2 months of cash left. They've got a 10 mil in progress with HC Wainwright from November 2025, which is this fucking month, right? Just so you guys know, the PRs, everything that you guys see in small caps, designed to get you to be Billy. It's all designed to get you to buy through highs so they can dump shares on you through highs. It's all. And these guys especially, HC Wainwright. I'm going to teach you all about that this week, so make sure that you guys are staying tuned, okay? Make sure you're following me on the socials, and we'll be announcing everything. So they've got this in place right now. They've got an offering in progress. They've not announced the price yet, but they will. I'm certain of that. They've got warrants. They've got a bunch of crap. Okay. So they will dump KTTA at some point. Anytime you see a stock that's trading sub 50 cents, generally speaking, they're going to dump shares. Yeah. If you don't want to be Billy, the goal is to figure out how to sell to Billy. Once you start asking yourself that question, you start asking yourself the right question finally. Then you can start to reverse engineer. Okay, if that's where Billy buys, he likes to buy high, through highs, right? So I got to do what? I got to buy low. Like you're fucking supposed to. Like math dictates how to make money in these markets. IVP, bottom bouncer, again, bottom of the barrel right now. Another liquidation. Look, if you look at IVP, KTTA, okay, IVP, I believe those are the only two that I saw this morning that were on this. OSRH is not one. 2 minutes till market open, guys. 2 minutes. 2 minutes till market open. Need you to stay very safe today. There's just not that much going on. What do we do in a market like this? We hit singles, like I said. Okay. We hit singles. We stay patient. And we wait. All we need is what? Does anyone know what we're waiting for to get aggressive again? Yeah, the Discord's closed. We had too many scammers in there in the free Discord. Just too many scammers and too many problems with, that sort of stuff. And there's zero reason to have scammers in my room. So we moved platforms. It's all on site now and much, much better. Yep, a black swan of sorts. A big runner. That's all we need. We need a big, big runner. Okay, 100, 200, 300% gainer. Then that'll set things into motion again. Right now, shorts are very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. Okay. Hopefully it'll happen this week. Hopefully we'll get one of those, you know, maybe today, maybe tomorrow or the next day. I don't think today is going to be the day, but you never know. But you never know. All right, y'all. Markets are open. Everyone stay safe. We'll spend a couple minutes together this morning. We are going to come live again. We're going to be live again this afternoon, and we're going to be live tomorrow morning and then Wednesday morning. All right. So everyone stay safe right now. Straight little spike on ENLV. Sure. Yeah, we're open for questions right now, guys. Are we allowed to ask opinions on a stock? I'm still learning. Was wondering if we're on the right track. So CHR has a delisting notice, but buyout offers. So yeah, so does, I mean, if you look at like IVP, it's a delisting notice. Delisting notices can at times become a catalyst, believe it or not. Okay. Can at times become a catalyst, believe it or not. They announced their delisting Friday. I actually have a few shares. I actually grabbed a few shares of CHR. It's just a bottom of the barrel kind of swing for me. See if they pump it. Okay. CJet. Nice WOMs on CJet there, guys. Ish. Not a lot of range. For those who are wondering what WOMs is, that is a week open morning spike. Okay. The way I categorize setups is in two ways. The first would be the big picture setup. So let's take CJet, for example. Big picture comes from the daily chart, okay? And the macros and the fundamentals, okay? That's where the big picture setup comes. Is it a day one gapper? Okay, is it a day one? In this case, I'd consider this somewhat of a day one gapper and reverse split pump, right? If you look at CJet, they did a split here. Yeah. Actually, probably the best setup this morning due to this. We haven't seen one of these run for a while. But for example, if CJet goes to like 5 or 6 or 7 today for some reason, yeah, I'll be looking at splits this week. Very, very simply put. They entered a strategic partnership with Edge AI to acquire up to 1 billion in Edge AI tokens at a 20% discount. Okay, on CJet. So reverse split, they did that to maintain compliance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16 days later, they put this PR out to pump it. And that's what we got going on here. Again, the market's a bit slower, but so I'm letting everything shake this morning. 0 trades for me this morning is what's going to happen. I can promise you that. Anyways, daily chart, right? So I'd consider this a reverse split pump and a day one gapper on a reverse split pump from a big picture perspective. Go to the daily. There's your reverse split, right? No volume until today with a PR. There's your pump. So reverse split pump would be big picture. Then you get into the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and we get into entry ideas, which I also like to categorize, right? So my setups are multifaceted. What's the big picture setup? That's going to dictate most. And then price action. What does the 1 minute chart look like? How can I get good? What levels are important? Get good RR from those levels, very simply put. So WOMs would be a week open morning spike. It's a pattern I want to happen the first few minutes of the day. Generally speaking, it's a stock that's going to open up near pre-market support with room to run towards VWAP. That's the idea for me. VWAP becomes PT1. Generally speaking, okay? So week open morning spike is what this would be on a reverse split pump. This would be the risk idea, going back here to this, going back here to the last hour and a half before market open, right? Pretty clear hold in the 230s. Morning spike. I expect this to go pretty much straight to VWAP in the morning, first few minutes. Okay. So that's what a WOMS is, WOMS. It's just weak open morning spike. This is a day one gapper, reverse split pump, weak open morning spike. Does that make sense? Okay. And I categorize that because if this ends up running real big today, okay, without me, if this goes to like $10 today, I will know exactly what I'm looking for. I'll be looking for reverse splits. I'll be looking for reverse splits that are in the $1 to $2 or $3 range. I'll be looking for reverse splits potentially in the AI sector. I'll be looking for potentially Chinese reverse splits. Understood? So, in other words, that's what I use Monday for. What works best? Is it something I know? Fuck yeah, reverse split, one of my favorite things. Okay. And then categorize entry idea, which all revolve around getting good RR. Yeah? Take a few more peeks and we're going to wrap up for the morning because we're going to be live again here shortly in the afternoon. Right at market close, I'll be live again. We will be live at market close. Make sure you join me. It'll be very lesson based. Try to get you guys through some important things this week. Hopefully get you guys ready for 2026's trading for those who have been struggling. IVB, ENLV, let's see what they're doing. Chopping around above VWAP for now, just consolidating above VWAP at the moment between $1.50 and $1.65. INHD. God, these are so much more liquid than the plays that we've had. Liquidity has dried up a lot, guys. A lot. There are links. We're running sales all week for those who want to join the community. Biggest sales that we're going to run all year. Always happens right now. Links are, I think links are underneath. My thoughts on 2026 are that I think we'll get a little bit of pump end of year, January, February, and then I think we're going to have bear market. I could be wrong. It's just sense I get. I think we're going to have a down year in the markets in 2022. Or, I mean, sorry, 2026. It'll be reminiscent of 2022. If you go to that year, I think we might see something similar. I might be wrong. Who cares? This year. 2022. I think it's going to look something like that. Just in my mind. What are you guys watching? You guys got anything? Any questions before we wrap up? Quick session this morning. Again, we're going to get together at the market close today too. I'm going to spend the whole week trying to get you guys, get your questions answered. DVLT gap up, pre-market no news. Then news comes out, $7 million deal. Yeah. Mid-range, right? Mid-range on the daily. So this sort of thing. For the most part, guys, I don't care if it's a daily, a 5-minute, a 15-minute, an hourly chart, right? And when I get to a chart, if there's support and resistance on that chart, that's completely mid-range for me. So, and it's red. It's not even green. Was gels also a weak open morning spike? More or less. I don't like seeing two candles set up and then new low set up. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I mean, It's more of a, you know, gap and crap reversal, I guess you could call it. Here's the really important distinction, guys. We're in a slow market. This right here, this area that you're wondering about, is it tradable? Yeah. I mean, from $1 to $1.20, it's 20%. Yeah. So there's some range there. There's some range there. We're just, again, we're in a slower market. The more range we have to get back to VWAP there, the better, right? The more range on our reversals, the better. We don't have a lot of range right now, guys. Okay. How do I know when to enter a trade? Well, you come up with your thesis, right? Have your setups, and that's what dictates that for me. Okay. The levels I'm using when it gets to those levels, and then the tape. Watching tape at those levels. So for example, if we're talking about pre-market on GELS, okay, you set your levels. We've got some support here in the ones. We've got 130s as resistance. We've got VWAP going into the open at 120, right? Very simple. Keep it that way. What I do is I try to pick support levels, and this is very simplified, guys. Sub VWAP, and I will find VWAP as PT1 and get 1 to 3 there minimum. Does that make sense? So that's planned, right? I look at this chart and I say, okay, we're going into market open. The best RR I'm going to get on this trade is going to be somewhere here, probably where it's already opening up. It's already sold off is the key. I'm looking for areas where it's sold off. There are shorts involved and they need to cover. They start to buy, it starts to pop. So in other words, as this pushes and then in the morning, as it then pulls towards this level that I'm watching, that is when I start to watch tape, price action. Okay. PT1, in this case, PT2 would probably just be 120s, 130s up here. Very simply put, PT1 hit, PT2, and that's that. And you do this over and over and over. And the loss, when it comes, is this big. That's the beauty. Okay? That is the beauty. As opposed to this. All right? That's how this works, guys. You want to sell to Billy. We talked about it in the beginning. You're going to sell to this guy. Well, get great RR to him. Reverse engineer your shit. That's how I've done this for 10 years successfully, is by doing that. This guy loses over time. Period. It's not changed in 10 years. This guy who does this every week loses over time. It says it's rigged. Breakouts don't work. You guys told me to do, everyone says I buy this and it doesn't fucking work. It's not sustainable. What is sustainable is getting great RR to that guy, making sure you're selling to him. Understood? This is what works. This is where edge lies for me in small cap and stock trading in general, and just trading in general personally, is the fact that I have opportunities like this over and over and over again, okay? And not opportunities like this, where this fucker buys over and over and over again, then he finally capitulates here, right? Control your RR and control your destiny as a trader. Okay? Yes, Vanessa, correct. Yes, a gap and crab reversal, it's gapped, and it's got to pull quite a bit. Or at least for a few minutes, right? It could even be just 1 minute at times, but the way I like to see it's going to be a few minutes of pull. Selling off. Short sellers that step in, which they're there. Short sellers that step in at VWAP here. Okay, these guys, the ones that are going to step in using, you know, highs. Once these guys all cover, they become buyers. They short and then they become buyers. When BK not working, why Ross so good in BK trading? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm not, yeah. Does it help psychologically to try to ignore the money aspect? Look at it more point structure coming from someone with no money. I don't need money to be happy, but a new sailboat. I don't look at it as money at all. I try to very, very much so to not. It's just 1R, 2R. It's more so like units at a casino for me. I like to look at it like that, like chips at a casino. Okay. Oh, breakouts. See, BK means something totally different to me. That means a bankruptcy. I don't know. I don't watch his shit. And I don't know one person who, you know, has come to me and has had success doing that stuff. Okay. That's it, y'all. We're going to wrap up real quick. Everything is a little bit slow still. Okay. CJET did reverse. A little bit of higher low on CJET for now. I'm hoping that this one can maybe get a little bit of squeeze. The idea is we're going to get together this afternoon. We're going to look through the scans, and then we're going to start to put a picture together for you this week, right? So I'll catch you guys at market close. All right. Everyone stay safe. Hit the links under the video. We're going to be running sales for you guys all week. The community is I think the best stock trading community that there is. And we've got a bunch of tools for you guys right now that have been super helpful. So everyone stay safe, stay patient. New highs on CJET. And we will catch you guys at market close. All right. All right, my friends, much love. It's good to see you. It's good to be back. We'll be here all week. Everyone stay safe. Catch you in chat.